You also talked a little bit about your experience with the AIDS patients here, the difficulties, what's needed, and what, based on your experience. And
so I can speak only of HIV in children, because that's what we've been doing. HIV in children, up until a few years ago, was not treated here. Medications were not available. There was a combination medication from Bangkok, but it really wasn't good. And HIV treatment is very complex and requires multiple drugs and changing regimens. So a couple years ago, PEPFAR came in, which is the President's Emergency Program for AIDS Relief from Bush, President Bush, and the Clinton Foundation. So they come in, the Clinton Foundation provides meds, PEPFAR provides the expertise and educating the doctors, and together they are providing medications in the north and in the south in some provinces. They haven't yet come to central Vietnam. It's important to us because for the last 6 years we've been taking care of a young kid named Nam who has he has HIV. His sister died of it. His mother and father both died of it. They were drug users and passed it on to both of them. So we got to them. His parents had already died, but Nam and his sister were still alive when we first got to them 6 years ago. She died shortly thereafter. And we've been taking care of him. We finally have gotten him on the medicines that he needs to be on for HIV. But to do that, we fly to Saigon every month. So we've been doing that for about 10 months or 11 months, going to Saigon to get him medication. And it's costly, and it's not good on any of us. It's difficult on all of us to go, except actually he loves it, I should say. He goes down there and plays video games and eats pizza. And we tried to get him to go bowling last time, but he didn't want that. But he loves it, but it's definitely difficult and not the best use of resources. So.
And why is that? Why can't they send him? Is it just for medication, or do they have to see him and give him medication?
They see him. Yeah, and I understand that. They have to see him. They have to do. They can only do the test down there, the CD4 count, the viral load. These tests are not available anywhere else. And these medicines are very expensive, and they're in no way going to send those medicines out to us. I mean, I understand that they're not going to do that. What they will do, if we can show them there's a real big need in Central Vietnam, is they will come here and set up a clinic here.
And is there a big need?
I think there is.
Is it easy to quantify? Because supposedly a lot of people are ashamed of it. They don't report.
Right.
They
do. I mean, it's similar to back in the States, but I think it's more profound here. The misconceptions about it are more profound here. I think there is a big need. We found out down in Tam Key, there's a gold mine there on the border close to Tam Key, and there's a lot of commercial sex workers there. So apparently, they told us a lot of the guys are working in the mine, bringing back HIV to their families, and Tam Key has a large number, they haven't given us the exact numbers, a large number of infected children that aren't getting treated, which is good for us if we can get those children, we can bring the meds down, bring the expertise down and get them treated. We're setting up to go down there and initially see all these children, kind of get some numbers, start them on what we can start them on, which is prophylaxis. You can start them on a very cheap antibiotic that everyone with HIV will take after they get to a certain stage, and it will prevent a lot of infections. So we can do that ourselves, and then hopefully PEPFAR and Clinton Foundation will come together, come to Central Vietnam. The presidents will work together and provide the meds, which we hope. We've met some HIV-infected children in Hue. I think there's about 12 or 15. We only met 5 of them. But that's 5 children who have HIV that aren't getting treated. And we'd love to get them treatment. But 5 children is probably not enough right now, given the shortage of medicines, money to bring it down here.
What is the reaction or the attitude by the government here?
About HIV?
This objective that you have, are they cooperative?
They are.
Okay.
They are. I mean, they are. They're surprisingly cooperative. When we went down to Tam Key, which is the capital, to talk about our program for chronic health diseases in the elderly, in the adults, I think we were both kind of shocked. I was shocked. I'm sure you were too. At how they were very supportive. They were all there. They brought people in. They were happy to meet us and very happy for us to get started. They help us with our paperwork, and so they've been very supportive. I didn't expect that much support. I expected a little bit of them putting barriers in the way, but no, they've been great. We only talked a little bit about the HIV work, and I think it's still, with the stigma associated with HIV, I think it's still something that's talked about, but I'm not sure it's talked about enough. HIV prevention would be interesting. If you really wanted to come here and do this, I think you'd hit barriers. And there's a gentleman who came from Kenya. He was in Da Nang trying to do HIV prevention, working with the government. He just left. He tried for a couple months. He's very, he does HIV prevention in Kenya. And so there's no BS in Kenya about it. There's condoms in all the hotels. The TV always has commercials about sex and prevention. He tried to do that, and they didn't like it. So I don't think they like the candid talk about sex in teenagers, is my guess. But he definitely felt there were some barriers in the way, to the point where I believe he just left, which is unfortunate. But So if you're going to do HIV education, I think you may have some problems. Part of that's cultural, but treatment, they're very happy to help treat.
Let's say, how do you compare the two countries, Thailand versus Vietnam, when it comes to HIV? Let's say because the causes happen to be.
I would only be guessing because I don't do any work in Thailand. But
from what you have heard,
I just think Thailand has a more open culture about that. And so my guess is that because they're more open about it, and you'll see signs everywhere, all along the place in Thailand. Bangkok has a lot of signs, and I think that the education's more. So my guess is that people are tested more, screened more, and that you find more of the disease and treat it. But I'm guessing that. I mean, Vietnamese culture I think Vietnamese and Thai culture are so different. So I think it's going to be a while in Vietnam before it's that open. I mean, there are signs. You go down, you see signs you've probably seen some big signs that says AIDS, and they have condoms on the signs.
In Hanoi, I've seen that.
Yeah, but when you get out the countryside, you don't see a lot of that. And condoms are not given out, definitely. I know that much. And I think it's probably even hard to buy them somewhere, though. I don't really. These are guesses, but.